Hello, Jen here, and I have an off-the-board layout for you. So I just showed you my two pieces of inspiration from my Pinterest board. Both of those are from my scrapbooking inspiration board, and I've been seeing this a lot lately, the kind of strips of paper making a circle around the photo, or in some of them it's like a larger strips and then maybe some embellishments, wood veneer, that kind of thing. And so I really wanted to do something similar to that. I knew I had this picture which has that kind of prominent circular shape to it, and so I thought this would be a really fun way to kind of play off of that. So I went into my board, I found those two. The one is from Jo Bolin. She used the Whimsical collection from Paige Evans, so she used just one collection for the whole thing and cut out all the strips from there. And then the other one, unfortunately, I couldn't find the original creator of the layout. The link just takes you to a blog post where the lady was using it as an example, but it's not actually her layout. So I think you can find it on scrapbook.com if you wanted to find out more information, but it's also on my Pinterest board, so you can check that out too. But hers is so sweet with the ribbons and the buttons. It's just super duper cute. And I love all the bright colors and everything. So I thought that the colors would really help to make this picture pop a little bit because it's so dark. It's backlit because I'm way back at the end of a cave and I'm taking the picture of Kaylin and my husband as they're walking towards the entrance of the cave. And I really like that it's kind of dark where we are, and then you can just see this beautiful scene outside of the cave, and I wanted to play that up. So I thought it would be fun to have all these bright, colorful strips. And I went to the Out&About collection from Pink Fresh Studio. I have used so much of it, so I'm really excited. I think this might be one collection I actually kill with this kit this month. And I knew it had tons of colors to it, and they're all very bright and clean. And so I found the piece of paper that has all of the strips of color, and I used that to map my photo, and it kind of gives me the whole color scheme to kind of play off of from there. So I went to my washi tape. I thought that would be a really fun thing to kind of bring in. I didn't know if I wanted to use paper because I feel like that was such an easy thing for me to do, to just go and start cutting up strips of paper, and they don't really have printed manufacturer strips, so I didn't really have those to use. So to kind of do something a little bit different for myself, I went into my washi tape and I just found the colors that were as close as possible to the rainbow of colors that's in that piece of paper that's matting my photo. And the photo was taken in St. Martin's at the sea caves. So when the tide is out, you can actually go right down onto the sea floor and you can go into the caves that normally would be filled up when the tide is in. And it was just a really fun, cool day of exploring. Well, not the whole day, because obviously you don't want to stay until the tide comes in, but we spent a good portion of the day there just exploring and looking at all the crabs, and the boys just thought it was so cool to climb on all the different rocks and see where the ocean water comes up to, what level it comes up to, because this was 2017, so they were still itty bitty back then, and the ocean was definitely in some spots like 2 or 3 times higher than their own height, so they thought that was kind of cool. And it's in New Brunswick, sorry. And so this was from our 2017 trip, and I'm almost done, you guys. I'm almost done. I'm getting there. So I started with the washi tape because I figured that was going to be the best way to fill up that space as much as possible. And I didn't measure. You guys kind of saw me just randomly putting stuff down. None of my strips are the same length. I feel like you kind of have to have it one way or the other. If you want everything to look really clean and precise, then measure and cut and make sure everything is exactly the right size. And if you don't need everything to be the right size, then really make it look haphazard, and then that way nothing really sticks out more than anything else. So I tend to be more of the non-measurer than the measurer, so I just ripped and kind of squished it in, and where I thought something was going to look good and fit, that's where it went. So after all the washi was down, and those are all completely random. I couldn't even tell you all their manufacturers or anything. Some I've had probably for years, and actually, I was going to say some are probably newer, but I don't think any of them are. I haven't bought washi tape in a couple of years, so they're all fairly old and just mixed into my stash. And then once all of that was down, I went ahead to that cut apart sheet from the Out and About collection, and I still had a few little labels and tickets and stuff there, so I cut those out and kind of placed them around the layout, just filling in some of the different gaps. I tried not to make everything line up precisely either, so in some places there are larger gaps, in some places there are smaller gaps, so it just kind of helps you to nestle things in when you have different spots to kind of play with, and then everything kind of just looks random, like it fell that way. And so once all of those labels and stuff were down, I went to the sticker sheets, and I still had quite a few of those, so I was able to get a few little phrases and words and stuff popped in there too. And then the last thing was the puffy stickers. So I think in my actual kind of cluster of colors, I only added some geotag puffy stickers, but then I used the adventure and the word epic and that puffy sticker arrow. So that's just going to be my title. It just says Epic Adventure. Because this is going in an album where I have tons of other pictures of the same event, I don't need to have a big title every time, and I don't need to have tons of journaling or anything like that. So I just kind of left that title very, very simple, and I didn't want it to detract too much from being able to see the view, because really that was the most stunning part, was once you kind of look out at the brighter part of the picture, you can see the view. So as I was going through just trying to decide if there was anything else I wanted to add, I came across these rub-ons, and I showed them to you when I did my kit reveal at the beginning of the month. These are from Tim Holtz, and they kind of have a travel theme to them, but it's also a little bit of a personal journey. You could use it either way. So not all of these little phrases and words worked for this particular picture, because some of them are more of that kind of personal journey type thing, but I found a few of them that work really good, and so I'm just rubbing them on here. And despite the fact that these are probably several years old, they're working okay. I do need to work at it. They're not just coming off really super smooth. I gotta put a little elbow grease in there, but they are working pretty good, so I think I might be able to salvage them and get them used up. And now that I've pulled them out and I remember that they're there, I'm going to use them on my very next layout. Yeah, so I've just put a few in different spots. They didn't stick very well to the washi. I have used rub-ons on washi before and they stick no problem, but I think these ones are just a little bit past their shelf life, so they weren't working well on the washi, but I just found little gaps in the cardstock and on some of the cardstock stickers and stuff, and rubbed a few of those in there. And then I also wanted to just put a few enamel dots kind of scattered around and just pick a few places where I felt like maybe the colors needed to be broken up a little bit, or if one color was, really heavy in one spot, I could throw an enamel dot of a lighter color. And it just adds that different texture too, since there is a lot going on in this layout, but it's not really a super complicated layout, so it's nice to have all those different textures and dimension. And these all come from different places too, but I think the ones that I'm using right now are My Mind's Eye. So, and I think the first ones might have been Fancy Pants or Simple Stories. So after I was all done that, I kind of thought I was going to just do a sketchy border around the edge, and then I thought, no, I want to actually mat it on something, and I couldn't decide what color, so I am actually going to leave it up to you guys. I'm going to show you 4 different cardstocks. Here we go. There's this gray, there's kind of this tan or taupe, then there's a lighter gray, and the last one is going to be a lime green. I could also go with a navy blue. You tell me what you think your favorite background would be, and I will let you know which one I pick. So vote down below for which one your favorite is, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. All the links to everyone else playing along this month are down below as well, so you can go check out all of their Pinterest inspiration, and you can check out my Pinterest board too if you want to see more of the things that I like to pin. That is it for me today, so until next time, stay safe and happy scrapping. Bye.